Hello and welcome to part 2 of my favorite accessories for the Aventon Aventure, or any e-bike really. I know what you're gonna say, Gary, in part 1 you already recommended a different bike seat, so why this seat? I was actually looking at a bigger bike seat originally. I decided on, oh, what if people look at it and think it's stupid, and wow, no one gives a shit what kind of bike seat you're sitting on, so you want to go with more comfortability. The other one is fine. It's got great comfort and it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. This one though is purely, strictly for comfort, more cushioning, more overall coverage for your rear end, and it's just better for me personally. I'll still link the other one down below if you wanted to see which one that was, but this one right here I've been riding on now for a couple hundred miles and I'm very happy with it. Believe it or not, I was actually not originally on the speaker train until I saw somebody out at a park somewhere that had one of these rigged up to their e-bike, and I said, you know what, this could actually be a cool idea. I bought this thing literally on a whim because I just wanted to see what it was all about. Turns out this guy right here has some amazing audio. I would not recommend that you blast this thing through like a neighborhood or something, or even through a quiet park, but having it on at a fairly low volume so that the only people that hear it are the ones that you're very close with, it can be a nice way just to enjoy some tunes on your ride. And this thing, let me tell you what, let's put some we'll do some stream beats, royalty free stuff here for you, just so I can show you what this thing sounds like. Now if you can hear that right there, that is at about 40% audio. Let's turn it up a little bit. That is about 50%, and in a moment I'm going to turn it up to 100 so that you can hear it all the way. Let's go up to 100. How cool is that? So it's got really good bass, really good just overall quality of sound, even at the 100% volume. The only times I've noticed where it's very useless is when you are in a crowded street. Obviously, a lot of loud cars going by. You're not going to be able to hear this very well, but if you're in like a neighborhood or a trail, this thing will be actually more than enough, and you'll find that if you do try it, you're going to have this thing lower more than higher most of the time. And the great benefit of the speaker as well is that you can use this all over your house if you want to. You can pair it with more than one. You can get a stereo pair. You can get a whole freaking party if you want. But in the context of an e-bike, this thing is really, really nice. This right here is an alarm. It's upside down, it's zip tied down to the rear rack, so you can't see it very well. It looks gimmicky, but this could potentially not necessarily stop a theft in progress, because let's face it, somebody that wants to steal your bike, if they want it bad enough, they will find a way. However, this guy right here could be a deterrent. They hear this loud noise, they might run away. Now, when it's armed like that, what I did was I actually just armed it. You can see down here, that's the arming button. If I just grab onto this bike, you see that? Listen to that noise. It makes noise. All right, now it's disarmed. Even the slightest bit of movement, the slightest bit of noise will trigger this thing. So again, you're not going to necessarily stop a thief. If you want your bike bad enough, you may say, "Fuck it," put up with the noise, take the bike and run. But at the very least, you have at least a couple of seconds, an alert, something that if you can hear this thing within reach, and it is very loud, it will echo, this could potentially help you out. So I think it's worth having at the price it costs, and it fluctuates, but it's very affordable. This is at least worth having on your bike. These right here are Chester race face pedals, and I've used them on nearly every bike that I've ever had. I've been using them now for over a year on this bike, and I got to tell you, they're the best bang for the buck. They have the most reliability. Your feet are not going to go slipping off this. Comment below if that's happened to you, but your feet are not going to slip to the front or the back with these pedals on. You're going to get nice grip. They've got all these screws that are popped out here that are going to help your feet to get stuck, almost like glue, onto these pedals so that you can ride far more safer and get better, you know, grip as you're going hard, like you're going for it. You're not going to have any problems on these pedals. The only con is also these screws, because if this thing swings back up around and hits you in the shin, you are going to have a very bad day. So be mindful of that, but don't let that deter you. These are excellent pedals, and I think that you should definitely give them a good look and try them out for yourself. Editor Gary checking in here. These right here are the Fuker pedals. They're a bit of a clone of the Chester Race Face, and they're actually a very decent quality. My cousin has them on his bike. I've used them before on his bike and found them to be very durable, and pretty much gives you the same effect as the Chesters. So if you're looking to save a few bucks, I'd go with the Fukers. I've had these grips now for about a year. You can tell in certain spots where they're a little bit worn down, and you've even got some nicks here from dropping the bike. There's not a lot I can say about these because they're just grips. They just have such a nice, strong feel about them, and you feel like when you're riding it that you're not going to be able to let go. Whether you have gloves or no gloves, these things right here are really nice. They're very affordable, and I think that if you just want to take your handlebar game to the next level, you really should try these on for size. One of the common questions that I got asked in the last accessories video on a couple of occasions is, Gary, what kind of lock are you using? The good news is I've tried several locks. I've tried the Titanicer lock, which I enjoyed. I tried the Kryptonite Evolution Series 4, and this guy is super rugged. I like it, but it's very bulky. It worked very well for me. I ultimately went with the CD lock. The CD lock is very portable. I like that you can just kind of grab it and go. It's got one lock right here that you just unlock with your key. They give you 3 keys, by the way, which is pretty nice. Very generous. It just comes out like this, and from there you can wrap it in, put it back, lock it, and go. And when you're done, you just fold this thing back up, you set it down in your bike, and you're back to riding. Before you go, and because you've been so cool to make it this far, I have one more bonus accessory that I want to show you. This is the Fantic X8 Apex, and this guy will inflate your tires electronically. There's no more effort. You don't need the little hand pump. You don't need the little push pump or any of that. This guy right here is so compact, by the way. Fits in your bike bag. Done. Did I also mention that this guy can also be used on your car? So no more going to some broke down gas station in the freezing weather, trying to put a quarter in a machine that probably doesn't work to begin with, when you can just get out, plug this thing into your car's tire, and you're off and running. That's what makes this thing so cool. USB-C input to recharge, USB-A output so that you can use this as an additional charging. You know, if you're really in a pickle and you need to plug in your phone or something, you're good to go. We don't need to do all that hand pumping no more. We live in a world of instant gratification. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. If you missed part 1, it's right up there. Just click the button. I'll also pin it in the top comment along with all the accessories mentioned today in this video for your viewing pleasure. If you got any value out of this video, any value whatsoever, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you want to see just a little bit more. And if you're one of the real ones, tell a friend, because sharing is caring. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.